You are listening to the Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys podcast. Sam Lubman and Joe Shasky coming at you every week, whether the Giants are good or bad, talking all things Giants baseball. Make sure you're liking, reviewing, subscribing, sharing, telling everybody about it. All part of the Odyssey Sports Network here at 95.7 The Game. I want to get into just kind of where things really stand now with Farhan, though, and just where things are with the Giants overall, because it's just looking at where things are at right now with the Giants. I just find myself asking, Shasky, how did it get to this? Like, where did things start to go wrong with this front office? And where do we get to the point where Bruce Jenkins is writing in the San Francisco Chronicle, the 5-year plan has failed? I mean, that's for Bruce Jenkins to come out in that blatant and to blatantly say like that, the Giants plan has failed. That's kind of like, they call him the grand sage here for a reason. Bruce Jenkins, he knows what he's talking about in that sense. The fact that he's coming down on Farhan like that kind of, I don't know if surprised me is the right word, but it caught my attention a lot. So I don't know, Shesky, if you're to kind of pinpoint when things really started to trouble you or go south, because I remember we did the intro episode for this podcast last year at the start of the 2022 season, and both you and Mark Willard were very, very high on Farhan at the time. You were incredibly excited about Farhan. How could you not? We just had a 107-win season. A couple months ago, you were, putting together a rough draft of a potential apology for Farhan. So times have been good with Farhan Zaidi.
It's not good enough.
But now we're here. Yeah, and here we are talking about, you can't get rid of him. What was that moment, I guess, for you? When did that moment come into play for you that you wanted Farhan out?
Well, I think when you look at the totality of 2022, after how bad their offseason was of 2021, like Buster retiring and you not parlaying all that success of 107, there was no carryover, like none. Like the Phillies had a great run last year, and then they went out and what'd they do?
They
signed Trey Turner.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I mean, I absolutely agree with you. I think that
Sam,
sorry, yeah,
modern sports world, it moves fast. The days of 5-year rebuilds are freaking absurd. Sports fans don't have patience for that. You're not the Tampa Bay Bucks of the 80s. Like, come on, dude. If you are running one of these teams, they are worth $6, $7, $8 billion in the modern sports game. If you're one of the mega franchises, which the Giants are, they are not the Cincinnati Reds. They're a mega market, mega team who has won championships in recent years. To say that you're just going to kick the tires and put together 1 and 2 year deals for a bunch of journeymans, it's like a bunch of band-aids and pretend to compete. Dog, the sports fan is much more discerning with their eye, and they're more conflicted when it comes to their viewing habits and their spending habits. They see right through you. Like, I'm sorry, we wouldn't do this in basketball. We wouldn't do this in football, and we certainly aren't waiting around in baseball anymore. The consumer moves too quick. We're not waiting for a 5-year plan. It's a 2-year plan at minimum.
I absolutely agree with you. I think that for me, I agree with you. My what the heck is going on here moment, it did come in 21 when they had that incredible season, and you had two free agents that I really wanted the Giants to go after that year, Marcus Semien and Corey Seager. Just get one of those guys. But the Giants said, well, hey, we really like what Brandon Crawford did this year, so we're going to bring him back. You know what? I can okay that one. Brandon Crawford, Giants legend, very big fan favorite here. There's an emotional tie there. Maybe ownership got involved with that one. I could look the other way on that one. I may not like it, but you can rationalize it.
Both the Belt and Crawford final deals look really bad.
Oh, they backfired. They absolutely backfired. But
unfortunately,
if you go back to how you were feeling at the end of that 2021 season, it was hard to really make the argument, especially with Buster retiring. I think it was kind of hard to make the argument. Let's just let the Brandons go.
No, I hear you.
So
but they look bad.
And this is the problem and this is not a problem, but this is kind of the thing with the Giants. Like, emotional attachment has always been a big part of this organization. It's why they gave Tim Lincecum $34 million after leading the league in losses in 2012. We get attached to players and we're willing to pay them to hang around and see if they can get back on track. But at the same time, we're still there's no love lost for Brandon Crawford. We're frustrated with his performance, yes, but when he comes to the plate, he is routinely getting the loudest ovation every night at Oracle Park. The fans still love him. So you know what? I can okay that one. The one that's harder for me is at second base. No disrespect to Tyler Estrada. the Giants could have gone out and gotten Marcus Semien to play second base, and I would absolutely take Semien over Thairo Estrada right now.
You know what the Giants are? You know what the Giants are? They're the Colorado Rockies with more 1 and 2 year deals for fringe guys making way more money. Seriously,
you never want to be like the Colorado Rockies.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. I absolutely agree with you. I say it's a horrible comp. Like the comp is good, but it's a horrible team to be compared to.
That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, you're absolutely right. So, but yeah, I think that offseason, listen, if Brian Sabian was still in charge after that 2021 season, he would have thrown Brinks trucks at guys like Semien or Seager to try and add to this roster.
Or traded some of their prospects to bring in a surefire player. I think that's the other part. They've been gun shy. Like, okay, we saw Wade Meckler. Come on.
Yeah. Well, Wade Meckler, I like Meckler a lot. I was rooting for him. It's clear that he was absolutely overmatched. I don't know why the Giants promoted him like they did. It felt like a panic move, and it turned out, yes, it was a panic move, and it really, I think, has backfired on them in a very negative way. But so yeah, I agree with you there. But yeah, that offseason, you look back on, yeah, they could have made trades. I don't think their farm system was that great back then. I
still don't think it's that great.
It's better now, but
great.
What it
You've
was.
had 5 years, you've traded away no one, and it's slightly better. That job well done. Seriously.
Again, I'm not saying it's great. I'm saying it's better. But again, there's context there. You know, like it was here and now it's here, even though we wanted to be up here.
Is there anyone in the Giants organization right now who is untradeable for someone like Dylan Cruz, who went in the top of the draft? I think he went number 2 overall to the Nationals. Would you trade? Like right now, I'm willing to bet right now, Dylan Cruz will be better than anyone in the Giants organization. Dylan Cruz has played a month. He's played a month in single A, for Christ's sake. That's how bad it is. Like, come on, Sam. I don't care about my rankings anymore. I'm watching these guys. I like Luis Matos. Okay, I do. I really do. He needs to hit the weights. It's so clear. Like, and even on his high end, on his high end, maybe a 275 hitter, maybe 15 home runs, if all goes well. Like, look around the bigs. Look what Corbin Carroll's doing. He doesn't have blazing speed like that. Like, I feel like Marco Luciano is the premier guy in your system.
Yeah, like Marco Luciano, I feel like is supposed to be that guy, but like we're not seeing it. It's just he's not at the big league level because they, for some reason, want to keep him buried in AAA. I don't get that, and it's at the point where I think the moment for me, I mean, again, the 21 that off season 21, that was a red flag for me. But it's like, you know what? I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. They figure out a way to turn water into wine. So you know what? Let's see if they could do it again. When things didn't go well in 22, you could say maybe that was the fluke year. This year, though, it was for me. At the deadline, when Farhan said we like our pitching depth, that's when it really started to hit home. Like this thing, this is off the rails. This is going nowhere. And now you're at a situation where what's really troubling and why I think you are going to see massive changes is they're having serious communication breakdowns. You got Ross Stripling talking about being on the Phantom IL. He doesn't know when he's going to pitch next. Sean Manaea, he doesn't know. And that's not even the first communication breakdown with Ross Stripling. Remember a couple weeks ago, Gabe Kapler's like, yeah, Ross is dealing with a back issue. And then they go and meet with Ross afterwards and like, yeah, you got a back issue. And Ross is like, wow, I kind of wish Gabe told me about that before he said that to you. Like, this is an organization that prides itself on communication. And they're having serious communication breakdowns right now. Like the one thing you can hang your hat on, you're not doing that anymore. So it's almost at the point where did things go wrong to the point where can it be salvaged? I don't think any of this is salvageable at this point.
In the last 4 years, let's rattle off the big time trades that have been on the table. Juan Soto.
They didn't have enough for him.
Okay.
But I mean, that's still a failure in its own right.
Okay. Juan Soto. Luis Arias, Francisco Lindor, Mookie Betts, Matt Olson. Like, you don't have to just draft people. You don't have to just go through free agency. Like, I listed 5 guys off the top of my head who you could have traded for in a heartbeat. Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, I mean, again, we do remember
they would have been the best player on your team.
They were in on Sean Murphy, and they didn't want to move off Kyle Harrison.
Oh, they're always in on everyone.
There you
go.
And
then they settle for garbage.
Exactly. I mean, that more or less is part of the whole system. So, yeah.
Hey, you struck out on Aaron Judge. Here's a Mitch Haniger.
Yeah. I mean, that was – and that's just kind of – that's the theme of this organization right now. Like, that's why
that's unacceptable.
Point, you can't sit here and expect things to stay the same at this point. And if they do make the playoffs and everything comes back, same old hunky dory. We're going to run it back and do 2023 all over again. Honestly, if you're Giants fans, if you don't want to show up, if you're that mad and you're out, I can't hold that against you. Like, you have a right to, because it's been so obvious that Giants fans reject how this team is constructed. And you cannot, as a businessman, Larry Baer and Greg Johnson, they are still savvy businessmen. When they see what these seats are going to look like, especially that last weekend when the Dodgers are in town, I expect 3 sellouts that weekend. They will not be orange sellouts. When that happens, we talk about rock bottom. When all of the outfield is in that Pantone 244 color, that's a rock bottom moment. And if things don't change after that, Giants fans, you have every right to be absolutely furious. So yeah, it almost feels like the front office has not just reached the point of no return, they have blown by that point of no return to the point where, yeah, if nothing changes, it's God forbid nothing changes and they extend them. Like, my God, this could drag on way longer than I think even the most cynical Giants fan expected.
What are the top teams in baseball right now? What do they excel at? Just traits that they're great at. Clearly developing their own.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Identifying superstars, making good, shrewd trades, signing big-time players in free agency. All of them. Those are the 3 things. Are any of those characteristics anything that Farhan excels at?
The only thing I would give Farhan credit is I do think they have been more good than bad at developing players. The fact that I have to qualify in that sense, though, tells you, like, I'm trying to answer the question in the most positive way possible.
Who have they developed?
Again, you're looking at the rookie class this year. That's
okay, so a couple of months. So Blake Sable, who has 0 position and has hit like 11 or 12 home runs with 13 home runs, whatever it is. Wow.
I know.
Wow.
You know what? Hold on to that rookie thought, because I want to dive a little bit deeper into the rookies.
Will Blake Sable ever be an everyday player for any team ever?
Hold on to that thought.
You're not allowed to put that notch on your belt.